Howdy everyone, welcome to Con News Texas. I'm your host Sammy B, and I can believe it's not butter. We here at Con News are dedicated to providing you with the information you need so that you don't have to go clicking around a bunch of websites just to keep up to date with the conventions you love to go to. We're hoping to be a central source for this sort of information so that you can attend conventions confidently and without having to worry about missing special events. So let's go ahead and get started. Now in this episode of Con News Texas, we actually have a mini convention spotlight. San Diego Comic-Con will be happening next month. Now this isn't a Texas convention, it's actually held in San Diego, California. However, it's a pretty big deal, so we thought we'd give it a quick mention. San Diego Comic-Con will be happening July 21st through the 24th, and hopefully Stan Lee will be making an appearance. Now that we've covered that, let's go ahead and move on to our main convention spotlight, Classic Games Fest in Austin, Texas. Classic Games Fest will be happening July 30th through the 31st at the Palmer Event Center in downtown Austin. This will be the 9th annual Classic Games Fest. This convention is chugging along and it doesn't look like they'll be slowing down anytime soon. A weekend pass is $25, a one-day Saturday pass is $20, a one-day Sunday pass is $10, and kids 12 and under will be let in free, however they must have an accompanying adult. Now those are pre-registration prices. They will sell tickets at the door, however they will cost more, and whether you pre-register or buy at the door, there are no ticket refunds. Here's a link to pre-register online for this convention. Now let's move on to the guests. Now this is a Classic Games Festival, so their guest keynote speaker will be Warren Spector, artist, comic book writer, and ex-designer for Steve Jackson Games. This man has had his hand in video game franchises like Deus Ex, Thief, System Shock, Epic Mickey, and it's rumored that he's currently working on System Shock 3. Keith Robinson will be there, as well as the Intellivision programming team, the Blue Sky Rangers. Ernest Cline will be there on Saturday only. He's a lover of old video games, a DeLorean driver, which will be in attendance at Classic Games Fest. I have seen this thing in person and it is fantastic. He's the author of Armada and Ready Player One, which was picked up by Warner Brothers for a film adaptation. Steven Spielberg is set to direct, and it's rumored that John Williams will be composing. If you're a lover of old video games and you haven't read Ready Player One yet, please do yourself a favor and go read it. Here's a link to it on Amazon too. I'm gonna help you out that much. Seriously, go read this book. Steve Wright will be there, a video effects master and a video game designer with tons of Atari accolades. Most notably, he introduced storytelling to video game manuals. He's also done tons of video effects work for Paramount Pictures on films like Seabiscuit, Blade Trinity, and Shutter Island. Composer and voice actor Jason Lord will be there, as well as Brett Weiss, a notable author and an old video game human data mine. As far as programming goes, the convention hasn't released its programming schedule yet. However, there will be costume competitions, there will be old video game tournaments, there will be panels for all of their guests, and this is Austin, so there is going to be a lot of live music. We'll let you know whenever the schedule comes up. However, whenever it does, the link to it will be this address right here. As far as gaming goes, this is Classic Games Fest, so there will be everything from Atari up to Xbox. There's going to be free play arcade cabinets, there's going to be retro game tournaments, and there's going to be a retro game museum. Now as for dealers, Classic Games Fest recently announced that they completely sold out of all of their dealers' space. So there will be a lot of dealers selling a lot of awesome stuff, and you should definitely go check it out. Now let's move on to the boring stuff. The Palmer Event Center is located at 900 Barton Springs Road in downtown Austin, Texas. Now the convention's main website actually has a lot of good hotel options listed out for you. Everything from an Embassy to a Radisson to a Hyatt, even a Best Western. However, they were all located in downtown Austin, so prices for those hotels ranged from $150 to $220 a night. However, if you look north around I-35 or south along 290, you'll probably be able to find hotels with rates lower than $100 a night. As far as parking is concerned, there is some free street parking, however, it is very limited. A good alternative is the Palmer Parking Garage, which is adjacent to the convention venue. Parking there will cost you $8 a day. Also, there are a ton of downtown parking garages north across the river if you don't mind walking. Austin also has a Capital Metro bus system with stops nearby the convention center. The link to schedules and maps can be found right here. And now, because I know you're just aching to know, let's talk about the weather. The forecasts for this weekend in July are showing temperatures to be in the high 90s, but also a slight chance of rain on both days. We'll keep you updated, just keep that umbrella handy. Now, the convention center itself seemed pretty sizable, however, it didn't look like there was any on-site concessions, so you may be on your own for food. Again, the convention's own website already has a bunch of excellent eating suggestions for you. Places like El Alma, Terry Black's Barbecue, Sandy's Hamburgers, and Threadgill's. As always around this time, it will be summer in Texas in Austin, so make sure you wear light breathable clothing and bring comfortable shoes in case you decide to walk around downtown Austin. Go ahead and bring a bag for swag, and don't forget your gunners so that you can lay down some old-fashioned MLG ownage. If you've never been to Austin before, it is the capital of Texas, so make sure you take the opportunity to look around, and also, as always, rule number 1, don't be a dick. Finally, the bottom line is this: if you like classic games, not just stuff from Atari to Xbox, but old tabletop games, old board games as well, this convention has your name written all over it. Speaking of classic games, if you enjoy watching people play old games, I play PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3 titles every Tuesday and Thursday on my personal channel, youtube.com/Orbindo. Also of note, Summer Games Done Quick will begin their 24/7 charity stream July 3rd and will end it on July 10th. If you don't know about Summer Games Done Quick, here's a link right here. However, all you need to know are professional speedrunners playing games very fast for donations and giving all of that money to a fantastic charity. It's an amazing event, and I assure you it is worth your time. And just in case you need it, here's a link to the main website of Classic Games Fest. Now let's move on to our updates and corrections section. This will be the final weather update for Comicpalooza because that will be happening next weekend in Houston. The temperatures are going to be in the mid-90s and there is a chance of rain on Saturday and Sunday. For general updates, tickets and special packages are going quick for Alamo City Comic-Con. Just in case you forgot, David Tennant, Billy Piper, and Catherine Tate will all be in attendance. As for corrections, we do have one minor correction to make. In the previous episode, I was actually mispronouncing the name of the convention. It's not Koyacon, it's Koyacon. I am very sorry. But other than that, that's it. So remember, if I jacked up something in this episode, or if there's a convention you want us to cover, make sure you shoot us an email at connews.texas@gmail.com. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Sammy B. This was Con News Texas, and we will see you next Sunday.